watching out for you. A Fox 5 I-Team investigation.
Documents obtained by the I-Team show the city's airport concessions director, who helped evaluate the airport concession bids, had ties in his past to 3 of the winning bidders.
One good government group calls that a possible conflict of interest. And senior I-Team reporter Dale Russell has also obtained an email in which the same director wrote that the bid process contained political wrangling. And Dale is here now with his investigation. Dale?
Russ, Mayor Kasim Reed has told me that there were no politics involved in this bid process. But when many of his fundraisers and campaign supporters ended up winning big, vendors came to us asking all kinds of questions. Some the city are not answering.
Am I sorry that we didn't make the cut? Yes. There's some other words I'd use. Heck yes.
The day the Atlanta City Council approved the airport food contracts, Dwayne Hurd, with Master Concessionaire in Atlanta, presented himself as a losing bidder. Still, he praised the city for its effort.
At the end of the day, saddened that we didn't make the cut, but came to tell you folks at City Council that you should all be very proud of what took place, because it was a job well done.
But the I-Team has obtained records that show Dwayne Hurd's company actually was on 4 different winning bids. Mr. Hurd never returned our phone calls. Vendors on the losing end of the massive billion-dollar food contract told me they thought Mr. Hurd's appearance at the council was another example of what they call a secretive and politically driven process. Let me talk to you a couple of seconds before you get in. The I-Team has already reported how Mayor Reed's own campaign co-chairman and 3 other politically connected fundraisers and contributors were big winners, picking up more than 30 separate businesses at the airport between them.
Between the 4 big winners, there were also large supporters of the mayor. They'll receive $1.38 billion out of the $3 billion revenue that's projected for 10 years.
Common Cause is a good government group. Director William Perry has raised concerns about the perception that big political contributors were also big winners.
We're accusing no one of wrongdoing, but when there's that level of coincidence, the process needs to be examined.
I'm sick of it.
Mayor Reed has defended the process as open and transparent and said he had no role in the decision. He also lashed out at Common Cause, saying they have their own conflicts of interest.
Common Cause, which has driven the media inquiries around this, has so much stain on it that it stinks.
That's what's demonstrated as you move across the chart from left to right.
Last week, Mayor Reed released the names of the evaluators of the bids. One that has drawn our attention was Paul Brown, the airport concession manager. The I-Team has obtained Brown's own resume on file with the city, which shows he worked with Delaware North Companies and Host Marriott, now HMS Host, both winning bidders. An August 2010 LinkedIn resume shows he once worked with Daniel Halpern's airport food company, Jackmont.
It creates a conflict of interest.
Perry says a number of vendors had heard the rumors about Brown's work history and expressed concerns to Common Cause.
Can somebody who worked for a company give fair and impartial treatment to all companies that are applying for the process?
Host said it worked with Paul Brown more than 10 years ago and there was no conflict. Daniel Halpern said he worked with Brown 10 years ago and it wasn't airport related. Brown was one of 15 different evaluators on 3 different packages. But there's more. After the city decided to rebid all the contracts, an airport manager from Las Vegas wrote to Paul Brown in an email asking, "How is the re-RFP process going?" Brown responded, "It has led to more political wrangling, of course, and also to the entry of new city players that were previously on the sidelines." Do you have any idea what he could mean by political wrangling when we've been told there was no politics in this process?
Well, if there's no politics in the process, it seems like there wouldn't be political wrangling. So I think that type of information is exactly what needs to be examined.
Now, we tried to contact Paul Brown to see what he meant by political wrangling in that email that he wrote. He did not return our call. We also asked the city if we could talk with Mr. Brown and let him explain what he meant. The city declined our request. Russ, Amanda?
Certainly sounds like a legitimate question. In the meantime, when will all these bid documents be made public, all of them?
The word that we're getting from the city now is that they're going to take everything and put it in a room and let all the people that have had an interest in this, from the media to lawyers to losing vendors, and there's a lot of people out there in that network that we have talked to,
Sure.
and to go through it, hopefully with somebody to help them guide through it. I'm told there's going to be literally hundreds of thousands of documents. We're interested in only some specific areas, so it's going to be interesting to see when this is going to be done. I'm told it could be soon.
And the interesting thing, too, is that for the public, the traveling public, when you go to the airport and you have certain places you like to stop by and have something to eat or whatever, if they weren't a part of these winning bids, you may not see that business anymore.
No, you're
They're
out.
just gone.
You're out, Amanda.
Wow.
In fact, this is a 10-year contract on the food and beverage end, and if you did not win, and there are people out there who are losing their livelihood in a fair bid process, we're told, but are out of the airport for at least 10 years, and there's possibly an extension to that. So this was a serious matter from a business point of view in the city of Atlanta on both prospective bidders and people who were at the airport.
Yeah, a lot at stake, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Thanks very much.
Well, the